Mr. Ulusoy, since the beginning of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Turkish authorities have made considerable efforts to resolve situations through diplomatic means. Does it mean that Turkey is stepping up its foreign policy in the Black Sea region?
There is a general perspective, let's say, of normalization in Turkey's foreign policy. And Turkey has been normalizing its rather tense relationship with Israel, with the Saudis, with Iran and Greeks. So there is a season of change in Turkey's foreign policy. However, this corresponded with the war in Ukraine, which made both the normalization a little difficult, but at the same time, a very crucial process. Meaning that Turkey, by chance and suddenly, found a new, let's say, ground of, showing its power both in hard and soft terms. And the crisis in Ukraine corresponded with this general normalization and boosted that process of normalization. First of all, this is the general perspective that I can say for the Turkish foreign policy. And in particular, with the Black Sea region and the war in Ukraine, there are a few things to be said. First of all, this was an unexpected war for Turkey. I understand that Turkey was not informed by its NATO partners about what was going to happen in Ukraine. This is my perspective, or this is my understanding, because Erdogan was caught in Africa, in his trip to Africa, so when the war started. Secondly, the relationship with other Black Sea countries. Actually, Turkey's interest is in preserving the independent states in the Black Sea region. So not just the sovereignty of Ukraine, but also the sovereignty of Bulgaria and Romania and Georgia are significant for Turkey. This is where Turkey diverges from Russia in many respects. Because I think what our Russian neighbors don't understand, that the world has changed, and it's not the world of 19th century that Russia can control everything in the Black Sea and the Balkans as a single great power. This was the perspective when the Montreux Convention was questioned just after the Second World War. At that time, Stalin wanted to change the convention, and Turkey's position was mainly departing from this single point. Turkey underlined at that time that Montreux Convention was for the interest of all countries in the Black Sea region, and not just for Russia or the Soviet Union of those times. Romanians, since those times, even under communism, were questioning the absolute power of Soviet Union and today Russia in the Black Sea. I think this is a very crucial point which has not been, significantly underlined or seriously underlined for some time, since the start of the war in Ukraine. Turkey's interest and Turkey's official position is on the side of small powers in the Black Sea, not just Russian or not just in Turkish.
At the beginning of the war, Turkey closed the straits to Russian warships that do not belong to the Black Sea Fleet. Turkish airspace was recently closed to Russian military cargo designed for Syria. How did the various political forces in Turkey react to these decisions? Will these decisions worsen relationships between Ankara and Moscow?
Your first question is a crucial one. It's related with the enforcement of the Montreux Convention. And Turkey tries to show everyone, not just to the Russians or Ukrainians, but to everyone in this world, that the Montreux Convention is a very serious convention, a delicate convention, which has to be enforced in a very serious way and a delicate way. That's why, Turkey probably facing some anger from Russia, underlined that the ships or the warships that do not belong to the Black Sea Fleet cannot cross the Bosphorus. And this is the first side of the coin. The second side of the coin is that Turkey is not interested in putting more fuel to the conflict. And Turkey is on the side of peace and stability and tranquility in the region. And that is why the treaty helps us, the Montreux Convention helps us in this regard, to prevent the expansion of the conflict. Probably not the Ukrainians, but some other powers, including Russia, might like to expand the conflict, might like to, put more fuel on the fire, but this is not in the interest of Turkey. That's why I think Turkey seriously implements the Montreux Convention. However, for so long, for about 2 months, Turkey has been able to put forward a rather balanced position. The domestic political quarrels were not very much reflected or did not too much influence the foreign policy of Turkey. However, let me open a parenthesis here. For me, the war in Ukraine is a very crucial war in terms of showing where we stand. Are we on the side of peace and friendship, or are we side of war and clashes and conflicts? Whether someone supports Russia or Ukraine, there is a very basic moral question there. 5 million left their homes in the past 2 months in Ukraine. This is drastic. Many cities have been ruined. I saw Kharkiv, I know Mariupol, I've been in Kiev a couple of times. These are lovely cities, and we have been bombing them. We have been, let's say, destroying them. This is not fair. This is not just, and this is not defensible.
How the security situation in the region will affect Turkish economy?
Turkey's economy has been in crisis for some time, and in a very serious crisis for some time. And the war in Ukraine already damaged Turkey's economy in many ways. And this is observable not just in Istanbul or in other major cities, but also in Anatolian provinces. There is an evident loss of tourism from Russia, from Ukraine, and many things shows that Turkey's economy, like many other countries' economy, have been adversely affected by the war in Ukraine. And this makes, of course, Turkey's position a bit vulnerable to pressures from Russia, which we have close economic relationship. Russia is our leading energy provider. They buy all fruits and vegetables from Antalya, from Hatay, from many places. So they invest a lot in Turkey's infrastructure. So it's not in the interest of Turkey to confront Russia. I think an open confrontation with Russia is not expected and is not in the interest of neither Russians nor Turks nor Ukrainians. This is what I'm thinking. Despite the bad economic condition in Turkey, and despite Turkey's dependency towards Russian raw materials, gas, and other things, Turkey's position is rather balanced. Turkey keeps acting in a rational and balancing way and respecting the international conventions, treaties, and I think Russians understand it, because Russians also need a country like Turkey. I'm not just referring to Russian billionaires or oligarchs parking their yachts in Turkish cities or along the Aegean coast. No, Russia is our neighbor. Russia also wants to keep this bridge open. And I think this is a fair position, both for Russia and Turkey.